Hey, what's up guys? It's David Hoffman from Davidsbeenhere. I'm here in my hometown of Miami at Bollywood Masala, and I'm about to eat some of my favorite Indian food. The reason I'm here is because I want to get myself in the mood to talk to you about how to plan a trip to India. And the reason I'm making this video is because so many people have been asking me, how do you plan a trip to India? It's pretty challenging. It's not so easy as people think. But hold on a second. Let me just dive into this aloo samosa chaat. Oh my god. One of my favorite dishes in India. Dude, it's so good. Lassi? Oh wait, how about lassi? So getting ready for India, it's not as easy as people think, right? You have to go through, obviously you need visa. Most countries in the world need a visa. I'm an American, so I needed a visa and I got a 10-year visa. So basically I can go back, and I'm actually going back now in November. What we're gonna talk about in this video is visas, destinations, transport, ground transport, and flights, internal flights, because India is a huge country, Airbnb, hotel, restaurants, or street food, and prices. But first, a word from our sponsor who made this video possible. We all have our everyday grooming routines, from brushing our teeth, washing our face, and yes, shaving. For me, what I do is I grow my beard out for a week, 2, 3 weeks. I mean, it really depends, and I like to change it up. I like to shave and get a goatee, or shave it off completely. No matter your routine, Dollar Shave Club, yes, that's Dollar Shave Club, has everything you need. Toothpaste, body wash, razors, etc. to help you look, feel, and smell your best. I love their products, they're amazing. I've tried their shave butter and it's my favorite. Everything is super high quality and left me looking and feeling amazing. Dollar Shave Club is the best in class for less than best in class prices. Dollar Shave Club is basically giving away their daily essential starter set to new members for only $5. This starter set features 3 trial-sized versions of their most popular products to help you stay fresh and clean, along with their executive razor. In your first box, you'll receive their shea butter, body wash, and One Wipe Charlie's butt wipes. You will also receive their executive razor, which includes their premium weighty handle and full cassette of cartridges. After the first box, replacement cartridges are sent for only a few bucks a month. This $5 offer is available at dollarshaveclub.com/davidsbeenhere. That's dollarshaveclub.com/davidsbeenhere. A big thanks to Dollar Shave Club for sponsoring this video and leaving me feeling so fresh and so clean. Now, let me show you how to plan a trip to India. Wow, India is an amazing country. You know that saying, incredible India? That's really the thing about India. It's truly incredible. My first trip to India was earlier this year in February of 2018, and it was one of the most life-changing trips, for real. I mean, it was so impactful. It's really a country that until you're there, you really don't know what it's like. And the way I look at it is just 2 types of travelers now. The people who have been to India and the people that haven't, because India is completely different from any other country in the world. I've been to 70 nations, and the most life-changing is this one. I mean, it will leave you really humble and it will test your will. I mean, there's just so many things that I can tell you about India, but let me start off by saying India is just one of the most amazing places in the world, and I really loved it there. Every single person that I met there was just incredible. Thank you all for helping me along my journey and for giving me the opportunity to showcase your country. My trip to India was almost 20 days. I did, how many cities? I think I did 6 cities. I went to Delhi, I flew to Delhi. Then I stayed in Delhi for 3 days. I went to Agra to see the Taj Mahal. I got a private car all the way to Lucknow, 5-hour drive. Then I took another 5-hour drive south to Varanasi. Then I flew to Jaipur, spent a few days there, and then flew down to Mumbai, and that's the trip. I mean, and that's barely scratching the surface. But for a first timer in India, I think Mumbai, Delhi, and Agra, Taj Mahal, those are the main 3 places that you have to do. If you've never been to India, those 3 places you have to go for the first time. If you're going to India, time is a huge thing. So there's a lot of things I'm going to tell you in this video, but big thing about India is that depending where you're going, how many days you have to really manage your time correctly, because things are far in India. Even within a state, things are really far, and flying around can be challenging. When you're thinking about planning a trip to India, you gotta think, okay, how many days? Well, the minimum I'm gonna tell you is 10, 14 days. That's a minimum trip to India, just because it takes a day to get there if you're from America, or if you're from Europe, it only takes you 9 hours, so it's not so bad. But if you're from America, it takes you around almost 24 hours to get there, because you have to go through a connection, and then you have to recover that first day, and then you have to hit the ground running and start exploring. So I'd say as a minimum, I'd say like 10-14 days is a minimum trip to India. And I wouldn't be jumping around all of India for the first trip. I try to, either do those 3 places I said or concentrate on an area like a state. There's 29 states in India and every single one is different. You have to think that you need time. India is a place that should not be rushed. Things, are a little different. Things take time there as well. Visa. Now, if there's only a few countries in the world that don't need a visa for India: Bhutan, the Maldives for up to 90 days, and Nepal. Those are the 3 countries that are visa-free entry to India. And there's few countries that have exceptions for people that have Indian origin cards, so they're like descendants of Indians, and those are countries like Afghanistan, Bangladesh, Bhutan, China, Nepal, Pakistan, Sri Lanka. And then there's other countries that are allowed to get visas on arrival. And then the rest of them, like America, Great Britain, and Australia, like these countries, you need to get a visa. So what I did is I got a 10-year visa. So I got it one time. I paid, I think, almost $300, and that's it. I can go back to India as many times as I want for 10 years, but I have a restriction of up to 60 days, I think. So, it's pretty good. So $300 and I have 10 years I can go. I'm going for the 2nd time this year, so that's it. I've already made my money back in terms of having a visa. And now the next thing is buying an airline ticket to India. I'm flying back to India November 1st of 2018, and I'm doing almost a 21-day trip there. Between flights, it's 21 days. The way I do it is I usually go on kayak.com. That's just the website I always use, and I look up Miami to Mumbai, shortest way possible, and I found that the best way to get there this time is to go with Lufthansa, Miami to Frankfurt or Miami to Munich, and then connect to Mumbai. It's the shortest, so I leave November 1st, like at 6-something p.m., and I arrive there at 11 p.m. at night on the 2nd. So I lose basically entire 24 hours. And that's basically it. So for me, that's how I get there. But then internally, because India is such a big country, there's so many places that you're gonna have to fly to, because if you want to take the train, it'll take you over a day. Or if you wanna take a bus, take it forever. Hiring a private transfer is possible for places up to 5 hours, and I'll get to that later. But for most places, I would recommend taking some airlines that are Indian airlines, like low-fare airlines. So we have Jet Airways, which is like the best airline in the country, along with Air India. You have Air India Express, you have Indigo, SpiceJet, Go Air, Air Asia India, Vistara. So you have a list of different airlines in India, and these are like low-fare airlines that connect the entire country. And I definitely recommend doing this if you're going, I don't know, let's say from Delhi to Mumbai, or you want to get the Kolkata from Mumbai, or you want to go down to Hyderabad or Bangalore from Mumbai or Delhi. If you just want to jump around the country, you definitely got to fly. The only way I would say take a train is if you really want to get the experience of a full day train, or if you want to do an overnight train. You take an overnight train if you leave at 8 or 8 p.m. or midnight, and you get to the next day at 7 in the morning. But you don't want to do it if you're going to spend the whole day there. You're just going to lose your day. Personally, don't recommend that. And then the other way to get around, what I have done is, when there's a 5-hour drive from one state to the next, what I did is I hired a taxi. So I just called a taxi cab service. I found 4 different taxi cab services, and I hired one. It cost me something like $70 to get from Agra to Lucknow, and that's not so bad. They have to go there, drop you off, and they'll take you whatever time you want. So what I did is I got up at 4 in the morning. The guy was waiting for me at 4:30, and by 9 a.m., 9:30, I was already in Lucknow, and I started my day in Lucknow. So I didn't lose the whole day, and I slept the whole ride, and it wasn't so bad. $70, that in the States would have cost me like $400, some crazy number. So definitely do that. And then to get around within the cities, you gotta use Uber. And I'm not being paid by Uber, I'm just telling you that Uber is the best way to do it. I love Uber. I use Uber every single day, and in India, it's the best way. It's the safest way, it's the most reliable way, and the Uber drivers in India would actually wait for you if you need to go, off route and stop and pick something up, some food or, some medicine, whatever, the pharmacy. They will stop for you and wait for you, which is fantastic. I had an incredible experience with Uber in India, so I highly recommend it. Now let's talk about destinations. Woo! India, 29 states, so many places to go, such a diverse country. You have to really think if you're gonna go south, north, east, west. There's the 7 sisters there straddled in between Bhutan, Bangladesh, China, and Myanmar. And each place completely different. My first trip, like I said earlier, was Delhi, Agra, Lucknow, Varanasi, Jaipur, Mumbai, a few different capitals of different states, and also very significant places like Varanasi, obviously, because it's the holiest city in India, Agra for the Taj Mahal. And what I'm doing this time is this. I'm flying Miami to Mumbai. I'm getting there like at 11 p.m. I'm gonna do a little bit of night street food there in Mumbai, but then I'm hiring, and this is part of the ground transportation, I'm hiring a driver, a taxi cab, it's around $70 US, to drive me to Pune. Let's see the distance here. It's a 3-hour drive, and it's something like a 3-hour train ride. It's a 3-hour bus ride, and I'm sure train is something similar. So, I mean, it's not that bad, but the thing is that I want to have that whole day in Pune, so I'm literally gonna get there something like, 5 or 6 in the morning, go to my Airbnb if I'm allowed to check in, and sleep for a few hours and then start the day. So that's sort of how the distances are. So I'm doing 2 days in Pune. So the next city I'm going to is Hyderabad, and to get there from Pune takes me around 10 hours driving, and I don't want to do that. I don't want to drive that. I mean, a train I can do it, but really the easiest way is to fly. So I'm gonna fly probably with Jet Airway to there, and then from Hyderabad I'm going down to Bengaluru, and that's another like 9-hour drive, so that's another flight. And there's no way around this. I mean, I can do a train, but I think the overnight trains, I wouldn't get there super early in the morning, and I'd rather just take the quick flight. The flight from there to there is like maybe half an hour. I mean, so I'd rather take the super early 6 a.m., 7 a.m. flight, get there 8 in the morning and just keep going, just like fly. And then from there, I'm gonna hire a car to go to Chennai. Yeah, so it's a 6-hour drive, so what I'll do is I'll probably hire a car, really late at night or super early, like 4 in the morning, and get there at 10 a.m. to start my day in Chennai. And that's how it works. The distances are really far, so you have to think like everything's gonna take time. And the next city I'm going to from there is to Kolkata, so I'll have to fly. So, Chennai to Kolkata is a flight for sure. Kolkata, 30-hour drive, flight is 2 hours. I'll do the flight. And then from there, I'm going to Amritsar. I'm going to Amritsar to see the Golden Temple, and the food there is incredible, and that's the city of the Sikhs. That's where the center of the Sikh religion is, and they say it's like one of the most amazing experiences, seeing like one of the biggest kitchens in the world. The Golden Temple, they feed I think like 100,000 people a day or more, probably like in the millions. I mean, it looks like a lot. And the last city I'm going on the trip is to Ahmedabad. This is the UNESCO World Heritage City of Ahmedabad in Gujarat. And they say the food there is amazing. Everything there looks beautiful. I can't wait. And yeah, again, the distances here on this trip are really, really intense. So I mean, you have to really think that everywhere you're going is, you need time. So the way I look at it is that I use my night, and those are gonna be really tough days because I'm gonna be very tired the next day. But I use my night as my transport. So it's either I'm flying really early in the morning, or I'm taking a private car to the next destination, or I'm getting an overnight train. I don't really see that many overnight trains here. I might get an overnight train maybe from Amritsar to Ahmedabad. That's what I might have to do to get there, or just fly down to Mumbai and then connect to Ahmedabad, but we'll see how it goes. Now, in terms of places to stay, my personal recommendation, what I did last time was Airbnb. Now, the reason I say this is the best way to do it is for one main reason, okay? The local people will help you. And that's what I loved about staying in Airbnbs on the last trip. I stayed at Airbnbs, it was very easy, they opened up for me. It was really affordable in comparison to a hotel. Hotels were really expensive from what I saw. And I didn't want to stay in a hostel. I don't go that route. I'd rather stay in a hotel, at least a decent hotel. And there's a lot of hotels. I mean, there's a huge list of different chain hotels like Taj or smaller brands within Taj Group. Yeah, I think Airbnb is the best option. So what I'm doing also on this trip is I'm looking up Airbnbs. And what I do is I look for Airbnbs that are just like, apartment for me or house for me completely. From the Airbnbs I visited in the last trip, the most expensive were Mumbai and Delhi. I spent something like $65, $70 a night. Good area, I had like a 3-bedroom, I mean really big. I didn't need that much, but there was nothing else on Airbnb at the time. The local people that ran those Airbnbs really helped me. They got me a guide if I needed it. If some of the places they actually took me out and they were my guide, and it was amazing. I mean, that's the best option. And then another thing is the food. The food in India is just amazing. It's really incredible. So what I recommend is wherever you're going in India, eat street food. I think I visited a few restaurants, and that's because the people I was with, they took me to restaurants to eat, and it's same. It was very similar to street food, but obviously in a restaurant, more sanitary. The biggest issue from the street food, that a lot of people, especially Western people, my wife and other people, were like, I see that people, touch all the food with their hands, touch the money with their hands, and yeah, I mean that happens. So what I recommend, a big thing, is take Pepto-Bismol with you on a trip, and take one Pepto before breakfast, one Pepto before lunch. Always do that and you will be fine. Pepto-Bismol is huge to save you from getting sick. I actually got sick on the last trip. I got sick for 7 full days. I got to Agra and I was, completely, gone. I was like a dead man walking, a zombie. And then what I did is I took like a few days off from eating. Basically, I didn't eat. I lost a lot of weight. And then I started eating again, but my friend Trevor James, the food ranger, told me take Pepto-Bismol before breakfast, before lunch. Big shout out to him. And I was fine the rest of the trip. And I actually do that now on every trip I go on, wherever I go in the world. I always take Pepto-Bismol before breakfast and before lunch, just so I don't get sick, because I eat a lot of street food. And then in terms of prices, street food in India is very affordable. I'd say something like, $1 to $4 per dish. I mean, it really depends. The more expensive dishes, they go up to like $4 or $5. I spend something like $12 to $20 a day eating, which is really affordable. Every single city and every single state has different dishes, and how expansive the menu is crazy. You will love the food there. What I think you need in India per day, per person, would be like $100, and you'd be really, really well. I mean, that's without the flights, but that's something, for food, Airbnb, and what else, and then maybe hiring a guide. And that's another thing, if you want to hire a guide, I'd recommend going on tours by locals and hire a guide there. They have a lot of guides, or just look up, just let people know on Instagram and stuff you're going. And that's what I do. I mean, I'm very fortunate that I have a big fan base in India, and they really are helping me. I have fans in all these cities I'm going to. So take wipes and hand sanitizer, so always have your hands clean at all times. Unfortunately, toilet paper isn't everywhere, and then sometimes the bathrooms just a hole in the ground and there's no toilet paper, so you just have water and that's it. So you want to stay clean. Definitely take wipes with you, and always take comfortable walking shoes like Nikes or whatever walking shoes you have. You want to be comfortable. When I went to India, I was walking non-stop. I walked something like 7-8 miles a day, just moving. So yeah guys, if you have any questions about India, please let me know in the comments below. I would love to help you plan your trip. It's really an incredible country. You would not regret it. It's like a must-do in your lifetime. I think I'm gonna go twice every single year for the rest of my life, just because I love it so much. The food's amazing, people are like incredible, and just overall great experience to like change your mindset and see what the world's all about. If you love this video, please give me a thumbs up, leave me a comment below, and subscribe to my channel. I'll see you on the next travel adventure. Peace.